kind of gears all of the logistics. And so what that looks like is we have a mentor newsletter going through the information that goes through that. That mentor portal will get y'all set up with requesting time away, or not requesting it, you're granted it, you don't have to ask permission, but sharing that you're not going to be able to be at the school. Checking in and out the rest of, or the storage of the activities and where you can meet in the school, and that end of visit log. So let's dive in. I know this is a lot of words, but the newsletter that we have will go out every Thursday for mentors. And so this is really a touch point for the information that's kind of ever changing or updating. So some of that can be when there's school breaks coming up, reminding you, or about field trips or testing when you can't be at the school that you normally would be. What's working well for mentors. There's a part in the log that I'll show you in a little bit of where you can share something that wasn't explicitly taught in the training that you tried and worked well. I would love to get to share that with other mentors. Updates to activities. I don't foresee that we'll have many. Last year that was a lot of trial and error, like the bingo card, just in our first year trying things that didn't work out. So that was communicated there, but I think we're set in these activities. We'll see if we add any. Surveys, you guys are expected to finish our midpoint and end of year surveys, just about your experience, how we can enhance for you guys. We'll communicate that in the newsletter. We're trying to do mentor get-togethers. Last year, it worked out well being funded by Creature Comforts. They open up their tap room, or at least a part of it, to us to have little get-togethers there. You don't have to be 21 to attend. You do have to be 21 to drink their goods, and then also giveaways. So Avid Bookshop, located in 5 Points. If you've never been, it's really fun for anyone who loves books. They donated over $300 of brand new books that we get to use as little giveaway prizes, and those will be announced in the newsletter. So really all of this information, it's just important to make sure that you're able to check in on this. I don't want you to miss anything or be in the wrong place at the wrong time or inconvenience you going to the school when you aren't able to visit with your student. And so I'll make sure once the first newsletter goes out to you guys that you are able to receive it. And so just know I'm going to do that regardless. It's nothing to do with anyway. This is just a little sneak peek of all the books that Avid donated. What I'll do if you win is I put it in the newsletter, so you do have to read it to claim your prize. But I'll send you this picture, the list of them, and you'll say which one you want, and I'll put it in the school where we keep all of the supplies for you to grab. Okay, so the mentor portal is kind of like an app on your phone. You'll see it's just like a little web page you add to your home screen, but the most used aspect in here is that end of visit log that you'll fill out at the end of each visit with a student. We actually don't have a post-training survey, so scratch that, but then your time away form. So we'll go through those two different forms, but those are the most used. And then the rest, we have a lot of the other resources, really everything that we filled out that's in your binder, just to have it there for if you ever need to reference. See if you can scan this QR code, and the way that it works is that it would open a web page. For it to work, to add it to your home screen, you have to do it in Safari. I'm a Google Chrome user, so I had to copy and paste it into Safari. And then once you do that, I have some instructions on how to add it. This is an iPhone-based instruction. You can still do it with Android, but I will lean on my Android friend Justin to support if you have any questions on that. And so if you, once you get there, it may prompt you to add it to your home screen, it may not. If not, there's this little box with an arrow coming out of it that you can select and then add to home screen. That work for people? Great.
Is there anyone that's not working for?
Okay, I'm gonna advance. Let me know if you need anything. We're good with the app? Great. Okay, so that we'll just have those resources. A lot of times we'll reference things in the portal. That's what we're referring to. Moving forward, this is a flow chart that you have in your binder. It is covering absolutely every part of your visit. So this is your responsibilities for every visit, or the flow of the occurrences. So very first, you park in the bottom lot. So when you pull in to Stroud, you will pass Stroud on your right, and you'll just kind of keep going, and then there's this big parking lot, and it's in front of a little purple and yellow playground, and that's how you'll know where you are. And that's the correct place to park. you'll enter into the front of the building and head into the front office. And so the instructions for check-in, I will give you a heads up, and I'm sorry about this. The instructions in your binder are actually incorrect. The check-in is correct, but the checkout is not. It's changed, we're ever adapting. So just like X out the checkout part of that. And this is a lot simpler, so it's less complex. So don't worry, I think it'll resonate easier by memory. But what you do when you get to the school is there is a computer at to the side of the front desk that is only for checking in. You will select guest in, and you need to use your driver's license to check in. That's an update that they have this year. So there's the barcode on the back of your license, and you'll scan that barcode, and it'll enter your information. It'll take from your driver's license, and then you'll select reason for mentoring. They have a little drop down, and you click mentor, and then it takes your little picture, but don't get too nervous about it. It really blacks it out, so you can't really see your face. But that is the check-in procedure. So then you'll have your yellow sticky note or sticky name tag, and you are checked in. I will also be at the school to walk you through this on your first day. And once you do it once, it's just like muscle memory. It's not very complex. So you'll grab your name label, or they'll hand it to you. The doors are locked, so someone has to buzz you into the school. If she's not at the front desk at that exact moment, she will be shortly, and you'll be let into the school. For checkout, I'll just go ahead and cover that, is you go to the same front desk, or same computer by the desk, select guest out, and it says search your name, and you just click that, and it has a list of all of the folks that have checked into the school, and you just select your name, and that will check you out. Okay, so once you're checked in, you will go to the mentor cabinet to collect your materials, whatever you'd like, and also grab your name tag. So this is a little lanyard. All of you will have this little lanyard name tag, and this lets teachers and staff know that you're with Books for Keeps, you're a mentor, you should be there. It is okay that you were taking a child out of the classroom. So where is the mentor cabinet? Okay, this is the mentor cabinet. So the first one on the left is when you walk in, that is exactly where the mentor cabinet is. And so that is Justin pointing at it. This is what it looks like. It has all of the different activities labeled in that file organizer, all of the different papers that you'll use for your different activities. And then you can see along this right-hand side is where the name tags are. Not pictured, usually in the second shelf all the way to the right is a little jar that we have for mentor sticky yellow name tags. So that's when you check in and you get that yellow name tag. You don't need to wear it as long as you have your lanyard to put on. And the reason we collect those is that's what we use to do for the drawings for the giveaways for the books from Avid or other little giveaways that we may have throughout the year. But just putting your little sticky name tag in there will put your name in. So going through a little bit more high level what is actually in the bookshelf. This is the activity instruction. So all of the ones that are in your binder and have also shown on the presentation for the instructions, they're all on a little key ring. If you ever need to reference, we have many copies of it that you can grab. All your tiles for sight word bingo, and then we'll talk about snakes and ladders in a little bit. Those question dice that we got, the other roll the dice game, all of that's in there. Markers and colored pencils, fidget toys, magazines for this activity, and mentor name tags, which that one's not loading, but I have it on, so this is what it looks like. And then I already said activity instructions, but we got it. So once you go from your mentor cabinet, you'll go pick up your student at the classroom, and I'll be there on your first day to show you the classroom that your student's in. The first time feels a little wonkier than the rest just because the student doesn't know you yet, but it's more seamless once they've met you and you really just knock and kind of poke your head in and they know, oh, there's my mentor, I'll go, and I get up and I get to leave with them. And so it's really just setting that up. But you'll pick up your student and then kind of start to settle into your space, ready for your activities. Where might you meet? Okay, again, the photos are just not really loading, but there is a rendition of this in your handbook, and also I'll be walking you through it on your first day. So everything that you need is on the one straightaway hallway that you could see the mentor cabinet was on all the way back. It goes third grade and then second grade, so you never have to really deviate. But places you can meet, we had, oh my goodness. So these little booths right here, like kind of nooks in the wall along the way, you're welcome to meet in those. You're also welcome to meet in the media center. I will show you the different areas in there. So you can meet in these nooks on the same hallway that the classrooms and the media center and the library and the front office all are on. This area looks a lot different than when I took this photo. It now has privacy screens. That's what that little star is for. And so this is where the bookshelf that we provide will be in the school. Okay, I don't know. Which those are just pictures of it. So you'll just have to imagine with me, but there's that pod. So it's between all of the second and third grade classrooms. There's this big opening and there's just a lot of tables and they have these two big screens so you can kind of meet, and it's not necessarily a sound barrier, but it does help where students can't see who else is making the noise. So it's less distracting. If they see their friend walk by, they aren't necessarily as able to like get up and say hey to them and stay on task. So I'll show you where that is, but it's really those booths that you see along the hallway at the media center, this pod, which that is the pod, it just looks much different now. And then there's also a courtyard that you're able to meet in, and that one's not loading as well, but I'll walk you to the courtyard that you can see, especially now that weather's cooling down. I think it's a great area to meet. This is a picture of the media center. It's beautiful. There's a lot of great spaces to meet. You don't need to memorize the schedule at all, but I just ask that you're mindful of when other classes are in there. You can still be in the library when there are classes actually having their media center time. It's just making sure that you're not in their way. So like little kids, the younger grades meet in one area, the older kids meet in one. So you'll see that they're either at this table or these tables are on that rug. But there's a lot of beanbags and other tables. So just being mindful of this schedule. It's posted on the door to the library, of just knowing when a class may come through. Sorry that you didn't get to see and imagine all of the spaces that we'll meet, but those are the 4 spaces that you can take your student, and you don't need to be consistent in the place. You can try them all out and see what works day by day. But once you find that place and have settled in, that's kind of when it becomes activity and reading time. On the actual Mentor bookshelf, we have this little jar for rating the book that you read that day. This is not required. You don't have to do this if your student is uninterested, but we like to cycle our books based off ones that we've seen have very little interest or ones that have high interest in getting one similar. And so if your student loves or really dislikes a book or just is fine with it and wants to share that, whatever it looks like, encourage them to fill out one of these. It's just out of 5 stars. Or flowers or thumbs up of their rating. So that'll get back to us. Yeah, this is just saying one of our program goals is to have 90% of students, or 90% of the time students rating our books with 4 or 5-star ratings. And so those inform that if we're not meeting that currently, then we know we can pull the books that have lower interest and increase the ones with higher ones. So from that, we also get a really cool insight into what books students are liking, and that's cool for our other programs as well when we're going into the schools for spring book distributions. This also helps inform us in that way. So just kind of sharing a little fun of the top 3 highest rated from last year. Number 3 was Happy Hare. Number 2 was Elephant and Piggy, specifically Let's Go for a Drive. These books are also really great it's just the 2 characters, Elephant and Piggy. They're on a lower, they're pretty easy words. They wouldn't really stumble with the actual words, but a lot of students have fun reading these with their mentor because one can be Elephant and one can be Piggy, and it's almost like you're kind of acting it out together. And so these books, once that was kind of unlocked, really took by storm last year, and I guess, I don't know what specifically is so exciting about Let's Go for a Drive, but this title, landslide. I don't know. And then this one, it's a silly one, but by absolute the farthest, students love this book. It's also there's 2 others. There's Creepy Crayon and Creepy Carrots. We have all 3. These are just a very exciting, spooky one that we thought they'd like, and we did not realize how obsessed they were going to be. But we've gotten to see that through the book rating slip. So again, you definitely don't have to, but it's fun for us to get to see and share with mentors. But yeah, so going from there, it would really, I know that wasn't too in-depth right here, but that's just whatever activity time looks like for you. You have this array of activities. It is up to you on what you would like to do. On your first visit, that's the only time that we have a set activity for you for that date. The rest is we're preparing you with all of these activities and setting you up with the books in the school to decide for yourself and your student what seems exciting. So from there, after you finish that, you'll return your mentee to their classroom. We just ask that you kind of make sure the teacher sees you bring them back and they know that child is now once again in their realm of responsibility. And return the materials to the bookshelf or to the mentor cabinet, and then complete your end of visit log. Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. You never know. Oh, yay. Okay, so complete your end of visit log, and we'll go through that. So again, that's the top one on your mentor portal, and you fill this out after every visit with each student. So one per student if you're meeting with two, if that makes sense. So why at the beginning, when I showed you that dashboard and it had all of the different ratings and how many times you've met and how many books you read, those are all informed from you guys from your end of visit log. We're just positioning you to do it, but you're the one meeting with the students and we want to hear how it went and that information. What happens if you don't? This is very important to our program, and so at the end of each day or the morning after, I send out reminders to people who have forgotten to do it that day. You're not in trouble, we need it, so I'll nudge you if you forgot. Okay, so going through it, it's very intuitive. This is also in your folder under logistics, I believe, but I just want to talk through it so your first time doing it isn't when you need to have it completed. So section 1, there's 3 sections. The first one is just your name. It should auto-populate the date, so just making sure that's correct. And then, did you get to meet with your student? And so let's say for whatever reason you did not. Almost always the reason of this will be either they're tardy or they're just absent. And unfortunately, it's just your reading block with your student is so early in the day that we don't have the turnaround time to get the school's attendance to let you know, so there will be times this happens. So that would just be sharing whatever reason, and then it would submit from there that you did not get to meet with that student. I will say further into the year, so not at the beginning, once all the students know their mentors, we have had, I think I'll talk about it later actually, but you can meet with students in the program that may not be your student if their mentor wasn't there that week. So you may go and say, I am here to pick up Justin, and the teacher's like, oh, he's not here today, but Alicia's mentor wasn't here yesterday, you can meet with her. And if you feel comfortable doing that, then you're able to do that. And the way you would do that is just fill it out normally. So going back to the top, you would just fill it out with that student's name. But say you did meet with your mentee, yes. Section 2 is, it auto-populates, so mentee's grade level. You would say, I was in the 3rd grade, then it goes to the 3rd grade teachers, you select which teacher they were in, and then it has all the students in that class. And then, what did you do today? There's this huge laundry list of all of the different activities in the school, or even just like, we just hung out. We didn't get to do any of the activities. Letting us know those. And then we have this rating right there for out of 5 stars. How did your mentee feel today's activity went? If they say anything to you or like you can observe it well, you can let us know. That's not required. That's just another way we're trying to give as much voice to the students when they don't have a log to fill out themselves. So if they have anything they would like to provide to us, that can be a way, but it's not a required field. And then how many books did you read today? This is only for at the end of the year. We just tell you how many books you and your student got to read. So it's not any sort of reporting that you need to be reading a certain amount. It's just fun at the end of the year to celebrate with your student how many books you read throughout the year. So that's section 2. And then section 3 is the mentor section. So this is just how do you feel today went out of 5 stars. We want to equip you guys with what you need, so it's important to us to know that you're leaving feeling like it was impactful or it felt silly and fun. Just whatever that 5 stars is to you, we want your experience to be well. You're donating a lot of time to this program. And so whatever that 1 to 5 looks like is the only required part from you. We have 2 little other sections that are optional of like any successful things, cute moments, funny things to share. Those are a lot of times we use those when we're talking about the mentor program. How is it going? We see cute things happening. And then anything you would like us to know or anything you need. We review this each week. Usually at least by the end of the week, we'll read through all of the logs. So if you need something that would better support you, please let us know. But that is the end of visit log. We kind of went in depth, but it's designed to take like about 45 seconds. Like it should just be like once you've got it. I will say, I got ahead of myself, I'm sorry about that. But with student absences, so it's likely you may show up and find out your student's absent. And so then they may send out a different student in the program to meet with you. The way to document this is fill it out normal. Did you meet? We changed the verbiage since I've taken these screenshots, and I apologize, they're outdated. But instead of it being, did you meet with your mentee today? It's just, did you meet with a student today? And then the answer would be yes. You fill it out the same way. If I went to Miss Maddox's classroom and now I'm meeting with Kinzasia, and in this little anything else you'd like us to know, just saying this isn't my normal student, but I met with her anyways. And that's just so we can have tracking. We try to see how many visits each student gets, so this will attribute it to that student still if you fill it out this way. Okay, I'm kind of throwing a lot at you, but we're gonna do the time away form and then take a break. So this is just for when you're not able to be at the school during your normal time. That's expected. Our goal of certain amount of hours that we have for students to meet with mentors includes a few weeks that we understand there's like buffers that we all have things going on. So this is just how to communicate that in a way that is most effective. Underneath that end of visit log in your mentor portal is your time away form. So the first little part is just your name, an email so that you get a confirmation, and then today's date. The next part is just the start of your time away and the end of it. And so what this looks like on the back end is we have a shared Google Calendar with the school. And so when you put those dates, it just puts you will not be here for that into that Google Calendar, and we all know, okay, most, I'm forgetting the word, but what that looks like for me is that I won't text you to fill out an end of visit log if you haven't that day, because I know you're not at the school to fill out one. So, and then anything else you'd like us to know, but you don't need to fill us in on why you're not able to be at the school that day. But any questions with that?